Okay, guys, this is Emmett again, the Alpha Builder. All right, so I'm going to do something a little bit different today. We're going to have, you see my TV's blanked out back here because I'm going to have class today. We're going to do a little class. And this right here is, this class is going to be checking your plans, guys. Now, I can only speak for the state of Alabama. I think some states may be different, but in the state of Alabama, when you, a plan designer for a residential home, now if you're doing commercial, you have to have a registered architect or a licensed engineer. You have to have one of those guys in order to do those items. But when you're doing plan design for a residential home, you don't have to have any of those things. And this is another, guys, this is like those flip guys. This is another kind of little loop in the system, man, these guys have navigated in. And this is the way that people can make a little extra money. But all you need really is just a good CAD program, and you can draw those plans up and you can sell that service. The issue is that when you use those CAD programs, those programs itself it's only the information that you put in there is what makes it right or wrong. Okay, so if you are a plan designer, a home plan designer, and you don't have any licenses and things like that, there's two things. One is that if you don't have any licenses, guys, and the state of Alabama doesn't require any licenses to be a plan designer. If you don't have a license, then there's really no way that anybody can regulate you. Like, that's why we have home builders license, so that if somebody gets out here and they building houses with a license and they mess something up, we can hold them accountable by suspending their license, or we can take remedy based on their license. Okay, you can regulate people with licenses. But these guys don't have to have a license. So the information that they put into that CAD program is only limited to what's in here in those people's minds. So if the person that's drawing these plans in that CAD program, because the program is only limited to who's putting the data into the program. If that person doesn't understand loads, load calculations, spans, the strength of lumber and stuff like that. If they don't really know that, they don't know to put that into the program to tell it what to do. If they don't know the code, if there are certain things in the code, so say for instance here in Alabama, the code, we got so many municipalities just in our area. So you got Birmingham is probably right in the middle, and then you got Hoover, Vestavia, Mound Brook. You got all these different municipalities, several of them. And several of these municipalities, they have different code cycles. They deal with different code cycles. Like, you might be in Birmingham, they may be on 2015. You may go to Hoover and they on 2021. So that plan designer, when he draws that plan, these are things that you got to know. And guys, if you look at the code book, those guys really, to do it right, you really need to know the code. You need to know the span charts. You need to know all those things. Guys, right now, and these are the things that, these are the things that you got to have right, guys. You got to have those plans right. And let me say one more thing. So this is how it works, guys. Builders don't go out here. Now, we don't draw plans. I don't see too many builders draw plans. So they have to depend on the expertise of a plan designer to get that right. So the builders, their job as a builder is to take what they see on those plans and build it. That's your job. As a matter of fact, when you send the plans to the plans examiner at the code, whatever municipality you're at, when they do the plan review on it, they're going to check that thing and they're going to put all their code in there, whatever they enforcing, and they're going to give it back to you. And your job is to do according to what's on those plans. Okay. And then the inspectors come out and check to make sure that what you got on the plans and what you got out there is consistent, and what you're actually doing is consistent. That's the scope of what the builder is supposed to do, guys. Your job is not to engineer things on those plans. Your job is not to sit here and redraw, well, you know, this right here should have a LVL beam. And that's not your job, guys. You get in that stuff, you get into malfeasance and misfeasance and all those different things, and that's where you don't want to be. So if me as a builder, I got a set of plans and the plans are wrong, and I build that house and the plans were wrong, and the code guys checked it too, and they didn't catch it, that falls on that plan designer. That does not fall on that builder. He built what he saw on the plans. That plan designer, but the problem is that plan designer has drawn those plans up and they're gone. They've been gone since day one. They got their money, they got paid, they didn't design it right, etc. And they gone on about their business. These are the things that can be a problem. So guys, you got to check those plans, man, or you can give those plans to an architect. Well, now, this is another problem, guys. If you go to an architect, I mean, they got they license and they're putting their professional certification on the line when everything they draw out. And now if something goes wrong and an architect done it, guys, you got remedy. You can sue, and that architect got liability insurance and et cetera, man. You can get them. And you know, they'll pay out. But a plan designer don't have any of that stuff, man. These just some guys with a CAD program, and they just thought it'd be a good idea to draft up some stuff and give it to you. They're not checking loads. They're not checking spans in most cases. I'm not saying all guys. That there are some guys here. I'm dealing with some guys right now that's very, very savvy. They got their thing together, i.e. Paul Gilbert in our area and Fristerio and Clem Birch. You know, those guys, man, I hadn't had, you know, I hadn't had any, knock on wood here, I hadn't had any issues with those guys when they do a set of plans, especially when I'm looking at them. But some of these guys, man, this is a side hustle for them. They have a regular company, corporate job, or whatever they work at. They can work downtown Birmingham somewhere, you know, at some plant or wherever they work at. And then this is something they do on the side. And another thing, guys, another thing you got to be careful with is that some of these people, so a lot of people, and I can tell, man, a lot of people give me a set of plans that they found on the internet. And so instead of them paying to get those plans on the internet, you know, which could be a house that's built over in Arizona somewhere, a house that's designed for the Arizona stipulations or whatever, which I don't suggest you guys go on the internet and try to find plans. I suggest you find a local plan designer, and a good local plan designer, and have them to draw those plans. But what they would do is these homeowners would go on the internet and they'd find these plans, and then they would go get one of these plan designers. I'm not saying these guys are jackleg. They just hadn't studied the craft to have this thing figured out. So they'll go to those plan designers, and then when they go to those plan designers, they say, hey, instead of me paying $4,000 for these plans on the internet, you know, which is it's going to be engineered. It's going to be you know, these guys are going to engineer those things. And if you have a problem with them, then you have remedy, because you can go back after those guys, because they're probably licensed in the state that they're at. They're probably architects that's doing it in the state that they're at. But when they do those things, they're going to have a cost with it. So instead of me paying $4,000, I can take these same plans that I can just take whatever they show me on the internet with no dimensions and things like that, not a full working set of plans, and I can give it to that plan designer and let him draw it up for me for $1,000. You see, so I'm saving. If it was $4,000 over here, I'm saving $3,000, and you think that you're actually saving, but you're really not, because this plan designer does not have a license. and they just throwing that thing together, man. Now, if you get what they draw up and then you take it to another architect, which you should have just went to the architect anyway, and gave it to them or engineer and had them to recalculate it, make sure everything works, which I don't see why you do that. You just go straight to an engineer. But this is where these guys are, guys. So I'm gonna try to bump through screen to screen, and I'm gonna try to do this right here and show you. Now, in my case, so I got a little small, this is just as simple as you can get, guys. I have a little small house that I'm building over in Birmingham, and the plan designer drew these plans. And guys, if I didn't catch this, see, I didn't catch it. This is why you got to have some good people on your team, man. You got to have a good lumber salesman. Guys, you got to have good, those lumber salesmen got to have good engineers that's designing these framing packages for you. And you got to have that on your team that's helping you look, because as a builder, I overlooked this. I didn't catch it. And this house is just as simple as you can possibly get it, guys. But I didn't catch it. He caught it. And he called it and thanks to Brown Lumber and Sean and whatever engineer that they're working with, Sean caught it with Brown Lumber. He caught it because he got to get the lumber package together, but he has to make sure everything stacks up. So Brown Lumber actually send their stuff to an engineer or send it to a person who actually draw out everything to make sure everything works. Guys, that is a service that's guys, it's priceless. If you got a lumber company that provide this type of service, man, I tell you what, man, it's priceless, because he saved me on this one right here, guys. Because here's the thing. Yeah, these homeowners, I could have built it the way this guy have it here. And in 2 years, I promise you guys, within 2 years, you're going to have sagging and deflection that was going to go on there. And it was going to be a problem. And now, but here's another thing. So that 1 year warranty, you're not going to see the problems until after the 1 year. Within the first 7 years, you see it. After the first year, but before the 7 years. And actually, structurally builders, you're responsible in the state of Alabama. It's 7 years, you're still responsible for structural items. So guys, that house will start deflecting. And once it starts to deflect, that homeowner is going to pick up the phone and call me. They're not going to call that plan designer gone, guys. They're not going to call them. They're going to call me because I'm the builder and I should have knew better, man, and I built something wrong. Well, I built it according to the plans. But you don't, as a builder, you don't want to have to go through that, guys, because, the only thing people know to do, man, is to start slinging lawsuits around and stuff like that. I mean, this, to them, this is a big investment and et cetera, and you didn't get it right. Especially in the African-American community, man. Now, if it's a brother, man, I don't trust no more brother. This is where brothers get bad raps when we do stuff like this. Because now you can't afford to go back and fix it. In most cases. So I'm going to try to do this right here. And I'm going to be popping from screen to screen. So this is kind of my first time trying to do this right here, guys. But these are things that you got to check, man. Now, I'm not going to expose this brother right here that did these plans. But let me just say this right here. I'm actually going to send this brother this video here in efforts to help him. Because you out here operating like this right here, man, you got to get this stuff right. You got to get it right. And guys, all right, so I'm going to try to go here and I'm going to try to bump from screen to screen, guys. So I'm going to go to, I got to sit here and look at what screen. There we go right there. So this is the screen that I got right here. So guys, hey, man, if I bumble around on this right here and mess something up, you guys help me out. So this is, let me just make sure I got everything right. Finger rolls, so we got that. So all right, here we go. So this is the set of plans right here, guys. This is guys, you don't get no simpler than this right here, guys. I tell you what, man, you can't ask for, get this out there. You can't ask for a better set of plans, guys. You can't get no better than this. So you can see, if I look right here, this is this is a gable roof. It's easy to calculate the lumber package on it. Guys, the house is just a box. You see the roof right here. It's just a box. And you can look at this right here, man. You can say, how can we mess this right here up, man? This is just too basic and too simple to mess this right here up. Okay. So, so this is what we got. So let me done this right here, and I'm gonna go to this. This is what I want you guys to focus on right here. Right, guys. So this right here is the details. Now, unfortunately, in this right here set of plans, now I think what the plan designer should have did was he got a bunch of details that he kind of put all of them together so that when he does different set of plans, he don't have to keep changing them out. He just got to all hit one type detail, which I think what he should have did was he should only put the details that's applicable to that particular house, to that one house. That's what should have been done. But now we're going to look at the roof details. So let's this is what we want to look at right here, guys. Now, if you notice that the whole purpose of this, let me see if I can, this right here, this beam right here that you see right here. Oh man, I knew that would happen. Let me just, all right, so guys, it's going to take a minute for me to get this right here right. You know, let me put this right here over here. So let's switch it over. So let me just say, this beam, this right here is what you call a brace, guys. These are braces, okay? So this keeps these rafters. So we got these rafters here. These rafters, we got one here, one here. This keeps those rafters from doing what they call, it braces it right here to keep those rafters from dipping, because the gravity is pushing down. So you have what they call, when this right here is called deflection, by the way, guys. When gravity pulls down on it, it keeps it from deflecting, because those rafters are kind of long. And so the longer they are, you know, you have to break that span. This is what you call a span. So you got to break that span up with this right here, with these guys right here. You got to break it up with these guys right here, with these braces right here. So these braces, these 2x4 braces, and really they should be called strong backs, guys. This right here should actually be called a strong back. This should be a strong back. And I'll show you what a strong back. Well, let me just see if I'm gonna try to bump from screen to screen. I'm just seeking how to do it right quick. Like, all right, there we go. We may be able to do this thing right here. So strong back. Let's see if I can pull one up. Look at that. Pull up the back of a man. Strong back. Let's say in construction. Let's see what happens now. There we go, right there. Let's see if I can find one so y'all can see what I'm talking about. This is an example of a strong back right here. If you can kind of, if I can kind of, this right here, guy, oh, man. You know, right here, guys, if you see this right here, picture right here, so you got a 2x4 going this way, and you got that 2x4 nailed to another 2x4 going in the other way, and it keeps that 2x4 from twisting and bending, right? So, let's see if I can get that. All right, there we go. All right, so let me go back to my other string. So that's what should be put, guys. That should be right. These right here things right here should be strong backs. They should be strong backs, and you should put some strong backs right here too, right there as well. Does that, and hopefully that makes sense, guys. So I'm gonna erase all this right here because we can get it kind of look convoluted here. So this is what we got, guys. But now what I want you guys to really focus on is this roof load right here. It goes down, this roof load goes down, and it has to be supported by this beam right here. This, you can only, because you got it, and that load right here, guys, that load goes all the way to the ground. Or it hits the LVL beam or something, and it gets and it gets bent around and goes around all the way to the footings. So this is what, I want y'all to keep your mind on this right here, right? So if I go back to this right here, guy. I'll go back to this right here, guy. And you can see it right here. This is what's supposed to happen, guys. So throughout this entire area of the house, you should have some kind of beam that goes, let's do this big. Let me erase this right here. So guys, throughout the entire area of this house here, you should have some kind of beam on the roof, in the ceiling of this house that goes all the way down here, so that, and this is what we were looking at, so that my bracing that's holding up that roof, right? It's going down like this right here. Y'all, the same little picture that we had right here. It's going to hit here, and either it's gonna hit a beam right here and go all the way around the house, or that beam, or we have a floor or a wall in that house to take that down, take that load down. That's what was supposed to happen. Now, in this case here, guys, so now let's go to the plan. So in this case here, y'all can see I've already been working on this right here. If you can think of it the way I just showed it, guys, in this case here, let me erase this right here. So in this ceiling right here, so this is the plan of the house. So you see that we don't have any kind of wall going straight down the middle. Well, we got that one little wall right here. That's okay, but we don't have a wall. Let me just, oh man. So we don't have a wall that goes down the middle right here. Now we do have one. We do have one right here that we can brace that bad boy off. Okay, which may work, but we got to look at the foundation, the basement plan too. So we're gonna get into that. We don't have anything right here to brace off of. You see. There's no wall there, because the way this guy did the foundation, he took the joist in a different direction. So he took, if you look at the joist, they're right here. They're going in this direction. This is the flooring joist right here. The load that he has, guys, let's see if I can get this thing right here right. The load that he has are right here, right? When they should be here. That's what he should have. Does that make sense? So that's a problem, guys. That's a problem. So we're not distributing that, you know, so the roof don't have, that roof system don't have anything right here to carry the load all the way to the foundation. Now, fortunately, guys, this is not a really big house, so my engineers are on it. It can be fixed. But let me show you how we can fix this right here. So, and I'm not an engineer, so don't try this at home. Now, here's what you can do. And this is what we're gonna do. So we're gonna run a girder, which is gonna be a couple of LVL beams. And we're gonna have to run them. Let me just get it. Let me get the right one. Well, you know, let me get the right one. Let me get the right color. So we're gonna run an LVL beam in mid-span of this house right here, and it's probably gonna go just like this, okay? Then now we do have a load right here, because we do have and that's another thing. He don't have the grade beam right here, guys. So right here, we don't even see it. I don't even see, I see a pier beam. I see the footings, but he don't even have, well, he don't have the grade beam right here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do that, and then we're gonna come here, and we're gonna, cause we don't have any grade beams to take the load all the way down to the ground. Right here, we don't have. See, he didn't have any grade beams in the concrete to take that load all the way to the ground. So we got to span over that too. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go from there to there. We're gonna do this. The one that's in red, we're gonna do that. Then we're gonna have to come again and make another LVL beam to go from there to there. That's holding up this floor. So let me erase this right here. So what that's doing is that's holding up this floor. It's holding up this floor, and then we can span all the way across. Well, actually, you don't have to do that. I'm sorry, we don't have to do that. We would have to do this on the ceiling level. So let's get rid of this right here. So this right here is not a. Let me take this right here out. So that's not what we're gonna do. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to the ceiling level. This is the ceiling level, not the floors. And we're gonna span with an LVL beam all the way from here to here, right? And then we're gonna go from here to here. And this is your ceiling. This is your ceiling part. And then we're gonna run our ceiling joist. We can run our ceiling joist this way. We can run our ceiling joist this way, and they can connect to those LVL beams. So what's actually happening, guys, is that load. So we're gonna brace off of this right here. So we got our braces, gonna brace off of this right here, that's holding up the roof. But the span is gonna go all the way. It's gonna hit this beam right here, and it's gonna go all the way around. It's gonna go over here. We got one that's gonna hit right here. I'm bad at this right. One's gonna hit right here, and one's gonna hit right here. And then this right here is gonna span all the way, and it's gonna hit right here. So we're distributing that load all the way around, but we have a beam that we can span off of. So that works. That actually works. And then that way, what we do on the inside, those are just wall partitions, so it's not hurting us. But that's how our ceiling joist is gonna have to run. So now we can still do what we got right here. We can still leave this right here alone. We can go ahead, guys. I apologize. We can still run these guys right here the way that we got them right here, because we're gonna go all the way around that at the ceiling joist. We need something to brace off of. We need a roof plan to brace off of, and this is our problem right here, guys. It's our problem. And there's probably more ways to fix this other than the way I did it just then. You know, got the wrong screen here. There are probably more ways to fix that other than what I just showed you right there. But guys, what I want you to get out of this right here is that you gotta have good people on your team that's helping you find and catch these things, or you'd be involved in a lawsuit, man. And as a builder, man, you just ain't got time. You need to be using all your focus and energy, man, just trying to grow your business and trying to understand the construction process. So guys, let me know your thoughts. And like I said, there's more than one way to fix this right here, man. This is just one particular way I knew, and I was talking to my students last night when we had class, and we ran over this whole thing together, man. I understand. You know, my guy kept telling me I got a problem with it, and he was trying to figure, because I got to get that lumber package, man. We got the foundation ready on this right here job site. Everything's ready to rock and roll, and you know, now I gotta wait on look. You know, that's another thing. So my customer is paying. You know, they're paying interest on this thing as it go. They got to pay interest every month. So it's my job to try to get this thing going. I got to get it moving. I gotta make sure it keeps going. So this is where we're at. Now we did have a situation. So let's go back to that bottom floor. See, let me see. There we go. So, guys, on that bottom floor, I did have a situation where the homeowner actually asked me. So that's what we got to do in order to brace the roof. So we know we got to do to brace the roof. But the homeowner asked me. He said, "Hey, man, you know, because we're gonna kind of use this to entertain. I get it. They're gonna entertain in this house right here." And so he said, "Hey, can we get rid of these 2 posts here?" And the question is, yes, you can just do the same, you know, we can do the same scenario that we had, you know, because we can still run the basement and the flooring joist away, because at the roof level, in order to brace the roof, we can span, you know, we can span those LVL beams across the roof. But now we can still, if we can get rid of those guys, we can do the same method, guys. We can come in here and I can, you know, I can just disregard these beams altogether, and I can get an LVL beam that would span from here to here, right? And then I can get another one to span from here to here. So from there to there. And then I can run all of my flooring joists. I can run my flooring joists this way. All of my flooring joists can be ran this way, and they can hit that LVL beam with some hangers. They can run all like this right here. You see, I can run my flooring joists like that. Just kind of an idea of how the flooring joist needs to be ran. I can run them like that. And actually, in my opinion, guys, this would actually be better. This would be the way that we probably need to run, because now the span, see, if you look at the span that he got right now from here to here, that is a 15-foot span. But if I'm going from here, if I'm going from right here in the middle, if I'm going from I'm trying to get another color. If I'm going from here to here, these 2 right here, when you cutting it up, you taking off a foot of that span, so you got less span, which is probably better, guys, because you want to span the shortest amount of distance, guys, because that cuts down on deflection. And I want to kind of show you guys what deflection looks like. Let me see if I can find my other screen here. All right, so clicking on that, let me see. Deflection. Deflection and construction. So there we go. So you can kind of see this right here. This right here is the one I want to show you right here. Let's see if I can make that bigger. I wish I could make these guys big. This right here is probably better. Let me see if I can never get these things to get bigger for me. Yeah, there we go. So this right here is what we mean when we say deflection, guys. This is what we mean. So, you know, after a period, if you put furniture or something on that house and just a lot of weight, and you don't even have to have a lot of weight. You can have live loads or no dead loads, especially if you got some kitchen islands or a tub or something like that. Over time, man, you know, if you don't have the right size lumber here, this right here, and you span too far, span is from here to here, this right here beam is going to start giving. It's going to start pushing down, and you can feel it in the floors. And you can see it, man, especially if you got hardwood floors and you got the shiny kind of hardwood floors. You can actually see it. You can see it really, really well. So that's what you got, guys. And you know, let me just, commentation screen, main screen. Okay. All right, guys, keep that in mind, guys. Guys, get your team together, guys. Get your team together. And guys, let me just, these plan designers, master your craft. Master your craft, man. This is stuff that you can't overlook. You know, you got to master your craft, guys. And I tell brothers that all the time, man, especially in the African-American community, man. I don't know what it is about us, man. We just struggle with mastering our craft. So master your craft and get this stuff right, guys. All right, guys, you guys have a good one, and thanks.